everybody, it's BenInBeta, and I'm here with my good friend Micha from Adventure Mohr. Hey Micha, how's it going?
Good.
Excellent. Glad to have you on tonight, and it's a special occasion. My channel has hit 1,500 subscribers, and that's a pretty big deal for me. That's a decent number. I'm pretty happy with that, and the channel's continued to grow. It's been pretty crazy. So 1,500 subscribers, and to celebrate that, one of the things we did was we partnered up and we decided to do a giveaway on the channel for 2 pairs of your bed stiffeners that I recently kind of did an install video and an overview video for. So kind of excited about that. So thank you so much for helping me reach that 1,500 subscriber mark, Micha. I appreciate that. And thank you to everybody who subscribed to the channel, who watches the videos, who likes the videos, who shares them out. Like, I appreciate that. It's crazy that I have 1,500 subscribers. I know it's, in comparison to a lot of channels, it's a tiny amount, but it's a lot of work to get to that amount, and I'm really proud of it. So thank you to everybody for that, and thank you, Micha, for being a part of this.
Yeah, you've helped us on this product for sure. So we appreciate the feedback and the help with the development.
So before we announce the winners of who is going to get a pair of these, we're giving away 2 pairs. So before we announce the winners, let's just take a look at what it is we're talking about here. So we're going to go ahead and switch to this view here, and I'll let you show them live as well. But these are the 4th gen no drill bed stiffeners, and the reason that I was interested in these from the very beginning on all of your stuff is just the design that Adventure Mohr does it's incredible. You have really thought out how can we make this as easy as possible to install some pretty complicated parts. And I really appreciate how easy these were to install. Now, I did run into a problem with the first time around, and we're going to talk about that here in a second. And you actually have 2 pairs to show. But the other cool part that I just, again, as a company, Adventure Mohr being amazing of really pivoting pretty quickly and figuring out how to solve a problem, right? I showed you a video and said, hey, these didn't go in quite right. At least one side didn't. And you quickly redesigned them and shipped me out a new pair. And that is the new design going forward. But, and just to be clear, we are giving away 2 of the older sets, but there are ways to remedy some of the problems, right? So we're going to talk about that a little bit too. But just, you guys are just a fantastic company. And I'm really impressed with the craftsmanship of all the stuff and how precise the parts are. And really, when you're talking about tolerances and some of these things, it's kind of crazy. So I'm going to come back to both of our views here, or maybe just go to yours and have you just really quickly kind of talk through the 2 sets and how they came about, that kind of thing. And then where you started and where you are now, if you want to do that.
Yeah, sure. Appreciate the positive feedback.
Yeah.
Let's see. Does it mean okay? So this is the old set. This is the set that we sent you that had problems, or this is not the exact set, but the design. Just very quickly, standard CNC bend tolerances are about 1 degree, and we have these holes slotted so that you can have some adjustment front to back if the Toyota wasn't exactly, they're not all exactly the same, so you need adjustment front to back a little bit to have some forgiveness with those hole placements. If these 2 bends were both out 1 degree in the same direction, it would cause the holes to misalign. We didn't catch that in initial design, so whenever yours didn't line up with the holes, and we kind of reevaluated the part, we realized pretty quickly, like, this is not the way we should slot these. We should slot them up and down, and then we should give front to back adjustment on the bottom slot. If you do win a pair of these, there is a decent chance that they will line up and you'll be able to bolt them in. If not, you can beat it with a hammer if you want to get it to line up, or these are drill or no drill. So you can do the drilled install option and just cut this off with a grinder or a cutoff wheel or whatever, and it'll function the same as any other rock slider. And they're stainless, so if you grind it or whatever, the exposed edge will not matter. It won't rust. We went to stainless because in our testing, you stick a hook from a ratchet strap in here, and within 5 or 6 uses, it will crush the powder coat in that spot, which long term, even on carbon steel, it would probably take like 50 years for it to rust to a point where there would be a problem. But people don't like to see like the brown tears running down, that it stains the powder coat with the rust droplets. So it wasn't much more expensive to go to stainless. It was probably like, I don't know, $30 a pair to go to stainless. And then you don't need a powder coat at all. And you can scratch them up, do whatever. It doesn't matter how much you abuse it, it'll never rust or whatever. We thought it was worth basically it's the cost of powder coat to go to stainless, and then you don't need a powder coat. If you still want the appearance of a powder coat, we do offer a powder coated version. I have one here. This is the new design in just a standard satin black powder coat. But you can see here, we've slid these up and down. That way, if these are, not exactly to the CAD model, but still within standard industry tolerances, the holes will still line up. And then to give you the front to back adjustment in case not all Toyotas, not all Tacoma beds are exactly the same, they have tolerance as well. So you get adjustments up and down and front to back with the slots here, everything's covered. So that's the changes we made. This is the only ones that we'll be selling. And so that's why we did a small production run of these just to send them out to some people to test. And, Ben found a problem right away. We resolved it as quickly as we could, sent him a new pair. Once that pair was good, we did a small production batch of the new version. And that's the only ones we'll be selling. And, if his viewers can benefit from, getting some free ones of these, then we'd rather just give them away than have people, have to do their own quality control of do they fit or not. If you're purchasing from us, we just want it to fit and there be no problems. But we're cool with problems if you got them for free. I think you're muted, Ben.
All right. And what I was trying to say was, you guys are a small company. You're very small. It's just you and Patrick, basically. So you're not like a big company who can, even some of the big companies would have problems test fitting some of this stuff. But you actually bought your own Tacoma. You test fit everything on that one. But that was the only one you had a chance to test fit on. And so mine was like the second one, which
yes,
you found out, hey, there could be an issue with this, and you fixed it really quickly. So I appreciate that. I think that's really a big deal too, in terms of, again, just the quality of the company that you're dealing with, which is pretty cool.
And to be fair, the pair that we sent you most likely would not fit on our Tacoma either.
Right.
It's just the bend tolerance that you just can't get around that and still do it to a price that people would be willing to pay. So you need to design a part around the tolerances, which is, that was our Rev 1 version is designed around it. So, that's exactly what we were looking for from you, give us some feedback, and we got it. And so I would say test well done.
Perfect.
That's what
and the other thing I want to just point out too, that I think, so we got some questions after the first videos went out, like, why do you even need bed stiffeners? Well, the Tacoma bed is, for all intents and purposes, it's a composite bed. So you can think of it as more of a plastic bed than a metal bed, right? That's the easiest way to kind of think about it. And so it will flex more than a traditional steel bed will. And that can cause problems, especially if you have a lot of weight on top. So for people who are overlanders, that kind of thing, if you're just running your truck every day on the road, it's probably never going to be a problem. That being said, though, I've heard a number of people had the same issue I had with the tailgate, which would get stuck. It wouldn't want to come down just kind of randomly. It would work for a while, and then it wouldn't. And what was happening, what they did actually at Toyota was they took like a rubber mallet and they just kind of beat on this little piece right here a little bit. And it hasn't done it since then, but I also have had the bed stiffeners in. I put them in the weekend after that. So I don't know if it's, helping a little bit keep things kind of in alignment as well, but I have not had one issue with the tailgate not working anymore since that time. So that is something else to think about too, I think, for people who might be having that issue. the good part about going with something like this to see if it solves it is you're not drilling anything, and you don't have to drill anything into your truck to see if you can solve that problem if Toyota is not willing to do it or unable to do it or whatever too. So again, I don't know if entirely that was the solve, but I mean, he just hit it with a rubber mallet, so that I don't know how much of an adjustment that could have really have been realistically. So, you know,
I think when you have an electronic latch, they can be very sensitive to the location of the catch for the latch.
Yep.
So I could see it, did you put a rooftop tent on that? I know you have that Kuat rack on the back.
Yeah, I had the rooftop tent on top, so I had 300 pounds of gear on top of the bed.
Sorry, I'm closing the door because I hear my kids yelling.
Sure, no problem.
If you have if you like, say you and your wife and your dog are all in the tent, that's an extra few hundred pounds on top of that. So, it could cause the bed to flex out. Like it'll, I'm going the wrong way for the camera again. Your tailgate open area could end up being, instead of being parallel, being slightly angled out from that load. Right. It probably would not cause any problems in reality on a manual bed and latch.
Right, exactly.
But the electronic latch is going to be a little more sensitive to where it's located, because it also has safety mechanisms built in, like, oh, we don't want to latch because it's not lining up, and we don't want to grab it and bend something and break it. So there is some benefit to that. It will reduce that deflection quite a bit. And for us, the biggest benefit is just having a bunch of spots to put ratchet strap hooks in there. Yeah. And I mean, you can do a makeshift extended tailgate with ratchet straps if you got something as long as your tailgate.
Exactly. Yeah, I found that when you can just put it right across there, which is great because if you had to take the tailgate off or whatever, and you need something long or whatever, it's perfect. Yeah. And I would agree too. I don't think that problem happens with the manual tailgate, because I can still get the tailgate to operate in that. I just have to pull it, and then it kind of gets past that catch. But then it becomes a manual tailgate at that point. So yeah, it's
kind of the same thing with the electronic tailgates on, like, newer Forerunners and Highlanders, whatever. If your dog's back there, you can't hit the button, because if they put their foot out the thing a little bit, it's like it won't close, and you get in this never-ending battle with your dog to get the tailgate closed.
True. They like to frustrate us sometimes, those dogs. Yeah. So before we announce the winners, we're going to get that in a second. I just want to say that if you do have any questions or comments, this is a great time to ask. If you have any questions about the bed stiffeners or any of the other products that Adventure Mohr has, which they have quite a bit of product for the 4th and 5th gen Forerunners, as well as the 4th gen Tacoma. And so if you have any questions about that, but lots of really good bolt-on accessories, and they're as light as they can be, but still protecting the vehicle. And again, something else that I really love about your products. So I just want to put that last plug in there really quickly. Let's see if we have any comments. So we have one comment here from Lawn Dart. Let's see what that is. So would a rack like the Kuat keep the bed square also? So, it can help. And what I would say is, like, so they have several configurations. So the one that's right behind me here, this is the mid-height configuration. I ran my truck in the full height configuration when I had my tent on it. And in the full height configuration, they also sell a front molly panel that helps to kind of brace the front. And they do say if you're like running it in full height, that's actually pretty beneficial to keep things from kind of moving around, but they don't have anything in the back. And I think that's where the bed stiffeners actually come in a little bit, is to help with the rear end of the vehicle. Any kind of rack is probably not like, there's other ways to stiffen the bed. It's more inside the bed than it is like above it. Some racks have some of that stuff built in. I think the ones from ARB from Toyota have some of that built in as well. But I think the bed stiffeners are generally going to do a better job at that rear end, where you might even get more flex, because that's where the tailgate opens and stuff like that. So
yeah, I would say from an engineering standpoint, the rack is going to act like a superstructure, like a truss on a bridge, like above the bridge.
Yeah, it's going to help.
But once you load it, from above, like trusses on bridges are not loaded from above. So like once you load it from above, it is going to like if it's taking load, if my sorry, went the wrong way again. If my hands are the top and you start putting load on it, it is going to want to flex out. And you know, some racks are more rigid than others.
Right.
I do think the bed stiffener is for sure going to act like a gusset on the tail end and stiffen that bed up. So it will reduce the deflection that you're going to see from that. And like I said, I don't know if the bed deflection, from what we've seen, the beds do move a little bit, but I think you would have to load them to the point where you're well above the gross vehicle weight that is recommended by Toyota before you would have a problem with a manual tailgate, where the electronic tailgates might be a little bit
more sensitive.
The main benefit for us in our uses were, yeah, it does stiffen the bed a little bit, but having those extra tie down points is awesome when you're camping, strapping down gear, whatever. You know, that has been the biggest benefit in our use.
Yeah, and you can never have enough tie down points. And
Right.
Also, like a lot of times the bed one, it's nice, like even for my fridge, but sometimes I'd rather be able to tie to the side of the truck and not straight down, or have both, right? So you keep it from sliding left or right too. So more tie downs is never a bad thing.
I thought about making a similar product for the other end of the bed, to where you could have straps going all the way down the length of the bed. Because there's been a few situations where that would have come in handy for us.
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. I mean, even if it tied into the rail system or something like that on the top, right? You could do that. Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, that's pretty much. I mean, that was a good question.
That was a great question.
It does appear and I think act as a truss system above your bed. It will stiffen it up, but you're canceling out that stiffening by putting 700 pounds of tent and sleepers.
Exactly. And then, you know, some tents only weigh 120 pounds. Mine's 230. And then if you go with the Alto Elite from 4x4 Colorado, it's 250, I think, I want to say. So then you put, you know, that's a lot of weight up there with two dogs, or a dog and two humans or whatever, or even more in the bigger one. So, yeah. So thanks for that question. Appreciate that. But let's go ahead and announce the winners, I think, at this point, and see who is going to be getting a couple pairs of these. So I will put their names up. I decided, I guess, not to reveal the last names in case people didn't want that. So it's going to be first name, last initial. We had about 20 people who kind of signed up for the stiffeners. And what will happen next is I have your email address. So tonight I will email the two winners, and we'll get all the logistics working out for shipping. I have all the parts with me here, so they'll come from me and I'll ship them out as soon as I can. If you get them and you have questions or anything like that, you can, you know, reach out to Adventure Mohr, to Micha or Patrick, and they can answer any questions for you as well. I will include them in the email as well. So if there's any questions that way, you can just reply back and we can go from there. Any other things you want to say before we, do the reveal here?
No, I think you can just go ahead and announce it.
All right, here we go. So the winners of the bed stiffeners Gen 1s are Rob F. and Joel M. So you are going to be getting some emails from us tonight, and we just want to say congratulations to both of you. Hope you enjoy them, and I hope they provide a little bit more stiffness to your setup. Really easy to install. I think you're going to love them. So, and I just want to say again, thank you so much to Adventure Mohr, to Micha. Mike has been on so many times. You guys both are just amazing to work with, and I really appreciate both your products and you as people. So thank you so much.
Yeah, appreciate it.
All right, that's it. So thank you to the people who are watching. There are a few, which is great. Thank you for the 1,500 subscribers. We'll see where it goes from here. There may be some more Adventure Mohr products on the truck here in the future, and we'll see what comes, and we'll do some more how-to installs and some also kind of reviews of those things as they come along too. So That'll be pretty exciting. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and leave those in the comments. It looks like somebody's excited here that they won. Woohoo! So that's cool. So Cab, once again, must be one of the winners, which is awesome. And again, we'll be contacting you this evening. Thank you again for watching, subscribing, and being a part of all this. And again, any comments, leave them below the video, and we'll be happy to get those out to everybody. Thanks, Micha, for coming on tonight, and we'll see you again very soon, I think.
Yeah.
All right. Have a great night, everybody.